In the gripping opening scene of True Detective, the discovery of a young woman bound naked to a tree in a burning cornfield sets the stage for a chilling murder investigation. The victim's body is marked with ligature imprints, stab wounds, and adorned with a crown of leaves and deer antlers, hinting at occult rituals. Detectives Hart and Cohol, portrayed by Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, delve into the disturbing case, uncovering bizarre symbols etched onto the victim's body and Blair Witch-style wicker ornaments scattered around the crime scene. Creator Nic Pizzolatto deliberately steers away from the conventional serial killer narrative, aiming for a show with broader themes. True Detective explores masculinity, obsession, and profound aspects of the human condition, elevating it beyond a mere whodunit. The series adopts a unique structure, alternating between the original murder investigation in 1995 and present-day interviews with the detectives, adding complexity and depth to the storytelling. While some viewers may be deterred by the leisurely pace of the plot and the lack of major revelations in the initial episode, the show's atmospheric depiction of Louisiana, coupled with T-Bone Burnett's haunting soundtrack, receives acclaim. The time-skipping structure is seen as an asset, providing tantalizing glimpses into the characters' pasts and adding an extra layer of ambiguity. Matthew McConaughey's portrayal of Rust Cohol, with his philosophical musings and mysterious background, garners attention. The relationship between Cohol and his partner, Hart, portrayed by Woody Harrelson, is established as complex and potentially unstable. The narrative explores Cohol's enigmatic character, revealing fragments of his troubled past, including a daughter's death. As the investigation progresses, details about the victim, Dora Lang, emerge, linking her to prostitution. The testimony of her former partner introduces peculiar elements, such as her talk of becoming a nun and claiming to have met a king. The detectives uncover evidence suggesting the killer has struck more than once, deepening the mystery. The present-day interviews with Hart and Cohol hint at a new murder, raising questions about whether the detectives may have apprehended the wrong person in 1995 or if a copycat killer is at large. The investigating police's interest in the relationship between Hart and Cohol adds an intriguing layer to the storyline, leaving viewers eager for more revelations and twists in the unfolding narrative of True Detective. In this episode of True Detective, the focus shifts to Detective Marty Hart, providing insight into his character and contrasting him with his partner, Rust Cohol. While Cohol's eccentricities and trippy hallucinations make him attention-grabbing, Hart is portrayed as a more rooted figure in the Louisiana setting, embodying traditional values and family life. Despite his outward adherence to old-world values, Hart is revealed to be hypocritical, maintaining a facade of moral righteousness while having an extramarital affair. His belief system is exposed as a means of asserting control over those around him, using both physical and psychological intimidation. The episode delves into themes of masculinity and the ways in which men seek to control their surroundings. Hart's discomfort with prostitution is highlighted, reflecting his desire to possess and control the women in his life. The episode explores how Hart compartmentalizes different aspects of his life, expecting them to conform to his desires. Cohol's character is further explored, revealing his unhealthy obsession with his work and a troubled past. His deep involvement in the investigation stems from personal trauma, notably the death of his daughter in a traffic accident. Cohol's haunting monologue reflects his nihilistic perspective, provoking a mix of horror and sympathy from his interrogators. As the 1995 investigation unfolds, Cohol's relentless pursuit of leads begins to yield results. A violent confrontation with garage workers leads them to the Bunny Ranch, where they discover Dora Lang's journal. This leads them to a burnt-out church with a disturbing graffiti depiction, providing a breakthrough in the case. However, many questions remain unanswered, including the link between Lang and Fontenot, the significance of certain sculptures, and the mysterious king in yellow. The pace of the investigation frustrates their superior, leading to the consideration of involving a separate squad for any Christian crime investigations. The episode leaves viewers with a mix of revelations and lingering mysteries. In a third episode of True Detective, Rust Cohol's adept exploitation of human weaknesses takes center stage as he intensifies his investigation into the Dora Lang murder. Proficient in manipulating both physical and psychological vulnerabilities, Cohol's skill at exposing the flaws in others becomes increasingly evident. The ongoing clash between Cohol's nihilistic worldview and Marty Hart's belief in the stabilizing force of faith and family continues to drive the narrative. The episode delves into the cracks in Hart's seemingly solid family man facade, revealing moments of emotional breakdown and violent confrontations. Simultaneously, Cohol's supposed attachment in 1995 contrasts with signs of a growing connection to Hart's family, adding complexity to his character. As the detectives grapple with their personal struggles, the narrative alternates between 1995 and 2012, showcasing a more introspective Cohol crafting a stick figure from a beer can in the interrogation room. Despite the reflective tone, the episode maintains momentum by advancing the storyline. Cohol's meticulous analysis of crime scene photographs yields a pivotal lead. Reginald Ledoux, a cellmate of Charlie Lang. Ledoux's association with Rianne Olivier, whose death bears similarities to the Lang case, guides the detectives to Pelican Island, a remote location. The episode concludes with a gripping shot of Ledoux, dressed only in a gas mask and underwear, brandishing a machete in a field, setting the stage for heightened tension and further revelations in the investigation. In Episode 4, Who Goes There?, True Detective's potential frustration over limited progress in the Dora Lang murder case dissipates with a captivating climax. The episode takes a detour to East Texas, introducing a 6-minute tracking shot during a neighborhood riot as Rust Cohol pursues a biker captive. Director Cary Fukunaga's understated yet impressive approach adds depth, gradually shifting from Louisiana's serene visuals to the grimy atmosphere of Texas biker gangs. Cohol's undercover involvement with the Iron Crusaders connects them to Reggie Ledoux. While Cohol navigates the risky mission, Marty Hart struggles, distracted by personal issues. The intense raid scene unfolds in a breathless tracking shot, leaving viewers eager for more. In Episode 5, The Secret Fate of All Life, True Detective takes a gripping turn as the investigation into Dora Lang's murder concludes violently in 1995. Reggie Ledoux and Duell meet their demise, making way for glimpses into the troubled 2002 partnership of Marty and Rust. The 2012 scenes reveal the interrogators suspect Rust as the occult killer. While Rust's suspicious background raises doubts, his metaphysical reflections and enigmatic behavior contribute to the detective's suspicions. Marty's futile attempts at change mirror Rust's perpetual cycle with the haunting case. The episode unveils the characters' unalterable loops, intertwining personal struggles with the relentless pursuit of justice. In Episode 6, Haunted Houses, True Detective unravels the dissolution of Rust Cohol and Marty Hart's partnership, revealing a pivotal 2002 altercation in a parking lot where they engage in a violent fight after Marty discovers Rust's affair with his wife. The episode delves into Maggie's role, showcasing her affair with Rust and using her testimony to Gilboa and Papania in 2012 to juxtapose events leading to the confrontation. While Maggie's character exploration remains limited, her insights into Rust and Marty's contrasting personalities and depth. Rust's disdain for Louisiana's religious influence intensifies, highlighted in his unsanctioned investigation and a tense encounter with Reverend Tuttle. The episode closes with a 2012 meeting between Rust and Marty, hinting at unresolved tensions from their past. In Episode 7, After You've Gone, True Detective unfolds the penultimate episode, unraveling the series' central mystery, the identity of the Scarred Man. While the episode resolves this aspect, it primarily lays groundwork for the finale. Rust and Cohol reunite, with Rust revealing his obsessive investigation in a storage locker filled with maps, clippings, and sculptures. Cohol unveils a conspiracy linking child abuse and murder to the Tuttle family, hinting at dark rituals. Marty's bitterness over their 2002 fallout challenges the partnership. Hart, contributing significantly, exposes a cover-up involving Steve Geraci. The unsettling videotape strengthens their resolve, marking a power shift in their dynamic. The Scarred Man's reveal, however, falls into cliché, leaving expectations for a nuanced and ambiguous finale. Season finale Form and Void, the final episode of True Detective's first season, falls short of expectations, introducing lapses into cliché and departing from the show's usual slow burn dread. The episode resolves the central mystery surrounding the Scarred Man, identified as Errol Childress, in a formulaic and somewhat tidy manner. The narrative shifts from the earlier complexity of the Carcosa mythos, leaving some viewers disappointed with the lack of a grand explanation for the show's sprawling mythology. The episode features a literal and metaphorical journey for the two detectives, Rust Cohol and Marty Hart, as they close in on Errol Childress. A single-shot sequence highlights the distance between Errol's decrepit abode and the bayou, where they subject Sheriff Gervasi to the horrors of the Fontanet tape. Gervasi, not actively involved in the occult ring, represents individuals unwilling to question those in power, emphasizing the show's exploration of evil prevailing when good men do nothing. Marty's deduction skills reach heightened levels as he makes a logical leap about the green ears described on the spaghetti monster. This discovery leads them to the former owner of a house painted green during the original murders, linking it to Childress and Sons. The revelation of Errol as the killer is criticized for veering too close to serial killer cliches. His cartoonishly exaggerated villainy, depicted in a squalid house filled with bizarre hoarded objects, feels inconsistent with the show's previous emphasis on subtlety and deep horror. The climactic chase through Carcosa, a maze of tunnels with occult symbols, is criticized for being meandering rather than kinetic, providing little insight into the broader mythology. The final showdown with Errol is deemed daft, with Rust miraculously delivering headbutts while being lifted by a knife, and Marty surviving a hatchet attempt. Rust's near-death experience prompts a strange fever dream in the hospital, revealing the impact of the case and a deepening bond between Hart and Cole. Despite the episode's weaknesses, it has moments of commendable cinematography, featuring lingering shots of prominent locations from the original case. The dialogue between Hart and Cole retains its sharpness, with Cole's nihilistic outlook tempered by a hint of optimism in the closing moments. This revelation, as Cole encounters his dead daughter and father, suggests a subtle shift in his perspective, adding depth to his character arc.